Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Diekin back at it again here in the lab. And in today's video, I just wanted to cover some of the things that I've picked up and things that I will be using for my 4th of July show. So as you guys all know, we've been covering a number of things, particularly fireworks. But in this video, I want to talk about some of the well-needed essentials that would help complement your show. Again, this is not just about buying fireworks or shooting fireworks, but a lot of pyros out there every year complain that they don't have any fuse. So sit back, let's go ahead and talk about this important subject. You know what time it is. All right, so starting from left to right, I want to kind of cover some of the well-needed essentials for your 4th of July show. Now, again, this video is really not geared to maybe some of you guys who are really experienced, but if you are a beginner to the hobby and are in need of some additional information for your 4th of July show, then this is the video for you. So over here, we have some well-needed torches. I picked this one up off of Amazon. And the reason why I wanted to go with this type of torch, this one's primarily used for cooking, is you just press in on it and the torch does its thing. On this particular torch, this is a Benzomatic. This one retails for about $24.99. You can find this one at your Lowe's or Home Depot. And maybe some other stores. However, this one typically usually isn't found in stores. You can find it online only. I believe this one sells for about 20 bucks. But the cool thing, or actually the one thing I don't like about this one, is that you always have to pull down on it, and then it goes through that little number there, and then sometimes it ignites. So you have those two. And then over here, you definitely need your refillable Benzomatic butane refiller. Now, you don't have to go specifically with Benzomatic. Any of the blow torches that have that additional nozzle here on the bottom will suffice. But the only problem with this can right now is more or less likely they are completely sold out at Lowe's and Home Depot. I've looked online, I've looked all over the place, and the weird thing is you can't even get this shipped to your house in most cases. You actually have to go to your store. So that's really what's going on right now. So unfortunately, for those of you waiting to the last minute to really complete your 4th of July show, you better get on it, because these cans, and I've had this one now for about 3 or 4 years, and you can hear it's almost empty. They're really hard to come by. So again, I haven't found them in Lowe's or Home Depot, and they won't ship to your house if you're trying to order online. So you will probably have to find something like that. Either Amazon or eBay will be your best bet. So as long as it has this little type of nozzle, then it should work. Another thing that's very important for your show, you gotta have fuse, people. I mean, really, I still see people trying to fuse together, let's say 2 mortar shells, and then just do boom, boom, shooting 2. But if you're trying to fuse 3 or 4 of them together, you guys gotta have fuse, unless, you just wanna live your life in the fast lane and try to hit them all with the blowtorch all at once. But you definitely gotta get it. Now, this fuse here is at a nominal speed. It's not my favorite. You can pick this up at any of your store. I actually picked this one up at Red Apple Fireworks. And then, of course, you have the quick hobby fuse. Now, I believe this one was introduced about, I want to say 2017, when they first came out, maybe on the retail market side. This stuff is so fast that the first time I lit it, it actually burned my hand when I pulled it away. That's just how quick it is. This, you can light it, then it really takes its time. You can walk to the mailbox, walk to the grocery store, come back, whatever. You have some time. This thing, it's good to go. It's, so I have a few of these. We're probably going to order some more, but I love this fuse. So if you're really trying to get a really quick reaction time and just hurry up and light everything all at once, this is probably the best fuse to go with. I believe right now this was like 15 bucks at cannonfuse.com. Pyro Boom normally carries it, but they were out of stock this year. But Cannon Fuse definitely has it. Also, there's another store I was supposed to have an interview with a few days ago. They have plenty of this. If you guys are familiar with Iowa Fireworks Farm Store, it's located in Iowa. I know Big T recently did a review on that store. They have plenty of it. Just thought I'd mention that because he was supposed to be on my channel, but I had something come up the other day. But yeah, excellent fuse. You guys can still you still have time to order this fuse through canonfuse.com. Completely legal wherever you guys need to have it shipped to. Another thing, now I know this was a little bit more on the pricier side. I believe I got this one a few years ago for 200 bucks. This is the Cobra firing system. I have the 18R version. There's an 18R2. Didn't need all that. For me, this is overkill. This should already last me good 15, 20 years, which is fine for what I use it for. Now, if you want the latest and greatest, the full set typically will cost you about $550. I believe. It's been a while since I've checked the prices, and I only have one of these modules here. Now, my other guest who was on my show, if you guys know that F10 Pyro, he has about 80 or 90 of these. But if you guys are just looking to shoot in the streets, in your local neighborhood, this is really good to have if you're just going to use one. Again, for me, this is really fine for just what I use it for. I have 18 different cues that I can actually hook up everything, and then of course I have my electrical igniters that I have for this. Probably should order some more, but this is just another essential thing that I love to have because I do a lot of walking around on the 4th of July. I got tired of that, was wearing out my feet, so it's just cool to be able to have everything ready to go and just at a click of a button, fire something in the front yard, fire something in the back, and it automatically goes off and does what I need it to do. Just walking around, it really helps my show, even though it was very expensive at the time. Again, this is really something good to invest in because you're going to have it for a number of years, and it really never fails. So I've never had an issue with it. That's the Cobra firing system. Now, if you guys are wondering, I also have my DJI Phantom 3 over here. Unfortunately, this took a tumble last year when I was recording a few things. I'm going to invest in another one pretty soon. But I've had this since 2015, the DJI Phantom 3. This is something that I highly recommend for shows. Now, if you're tedious and you want to shoot your shows and do a bunch of other stuff, you can see this thing is all jacked up. It's really good to record all of your footage using a drone. I mean, there's nothing like it. Being able to record your fireworks show and also see the night sky. I mean, you guys have no idea what the night sky really looks like, your local neighborhoods, your local city, unless you have a drone up there. And it gives you an overall different perspective recording your show. Again, not just using this for a demo, but flying through your neighborhood, recording. I haven't seen a lot of pyros really out there shooting with drones. I know when I first started using mine was back in 2015, 2016. And then, of course, I know a lot of people recently got some drones and stuff. But it's an excellent thing to have as far as being using it even as a tool to measure how high up your shells can go. So I believe most of my shells, all the shells that I've gotten from Red Apple Fireworks, they measure somewhere about 175 feet. I think the highest shell I've had explode was the Black Cat Diablo. Didn't have a lot of powder in that one. That one probably ignited at about 200 feet, maybe, I'm guessing. But again, this is something you guys can use to kind of measure what your fireworks can really do. You take some great photos, see your neighborhood. Is really, really handy. And in fact, if you guys have seen my other channel, Kioboomdiekin, I actually have the majority of my drone footage, pyro shows, and video footage on that channel. Now, over here, we have my Traxxas X-Max. This is one of my, not my favorite RC car, but one of the top of the line RC cars that came out some time ago. And so I made a video a little while ago. I think it was the Pyro Welfare one, about Welfare Pyro. And I mentioned the fact about my RC cars. And people were asking like, hey man, this is an RC channel, a firework channel. Why are you talking about your RC cars? Well, that's the thing. So my channel has always been centered around integrating other things with your hobby. So I think out of the box. I don't just conform to any one thing. And I look to see what else I could do with my show to make it fun and get the best use out of it. So in case you're wondering why, what do I do with my RC cars and why I have this here, this is also my motorized camera. I can put my GoPro on here, get some really good footages of my fireworks going off. So it also operates as a motorized dolly for recording. On top of that, I am working on, obviously I'm not going to do it this year, but I'm creating a motorized mortar rack or motorized finale board where I can mount this on top of my Trex's X-Max. It can mount it perfectly safe, no harm done, and shoot my show. So those are some additional things that you can do with your show, with everything that you have to get the maximum effect out of it. And then of course too, I have put some fireworks on my drone, flew around with it. I didn't like the downforce. I had sparklers on it, flying it around, and the downforce kind of put it out a little bit. But for the most part, you guys get the idea. There are some additional things you can do to have fun in a safe manner, of course, with your other RC and other drone technologies and stuff that makes this a way available to you. Now, of course, I'll also have racks. Of course, you guys, what you can do is save your fiberglass mortar tubes, make your own racks. Keep in mind, wood is expensive this year. I would not suggest trying to make racks yourself this year because it's really expensive, the cost of wood. So I would actually hold off on that personally. But if you already have a rack, I would suggest maybe going with a company like Pyroboom because they are ordering in bulk, and I believe their price is still nominal considering the fact that price of wood has gone up. But if you're going to go to like your Lowe's, Home Depot, or other hardware stores, hardware stores, then the price is definitely going to jump up for you. But again, guys, just wanted to share with you this type of video, some of the thoughts that I have, projects that I'm working on, and how I see things in making overall fireworks show, just to be creative. Now, I'm not going to get into video editing and other things that help complement your show. If you guys want to take your step that way, that's something entirely different. But I love using my RC cars, have a motorized camera on here with a GoPro. And then, of course, you got to have some torches. I still see people using the chimney lighters, which is actually really good sometimes because sometimes these break. I've had like 3 or 4 of these, and so sometimes there are issues, which is why I went with this one to give this one a try. And then of course you also have the other blow torches out there too that have a constant flame. They're a little bit, you know, bigger with the cylinder and stuff. If you're lighting on that, that's actually good, but I like to have something around in my pocket or whatever. I'm not going to actually put this in my pocket. Who knows what could possibly happen, but it's small and compact and you can keep it around with you. And then of course, make sure you get at least 2 of these. That way you can kind of stock up on that. Again, I've had this one now for about 3 or 4 years. Haven't had any problems. Has refilled these a number of times. I have a couple of these for my show. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Definitely want to keep you guys updated on everything that I'm doing here, as well as additional news. And so I hope you all have a great 4th of July. And this is Diekin. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.